it's Ina the Mood Reader, and welcome to my December 2020 reading wrap-up! I know it's a little late again for this video, but I didn't want to let the years pass, the months pass, or the weeks pass, whatever, without mentioning the books I read in December. I think as I have always did this every month, it would be unfair for the books I picked last December if they didn't get at least a little mention on a video. So I have read 15 books last December. It wasn't at all the books I planned, not the books I included on my TBR, but December has been so busy. It has been like again, as always, leaning to audiobooks just to make some reading and a few chapters each night. But yeah, I still had some fun reading these books, and I'm very happy to share them with you today. So first off, I'm going to share with you the audiobooks that I read. Again, all of these audiobooks are read via Script, which is of course my favorite audiobook platform. For a monthly subscription, I get to listen to my picks of audiobooks. There's also access to like ebooks, magazines, documents, and other stuff there. So if you want to try it out, there's a link in the description box below. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I would get a free month if you do subscribe, and that would be a great help for me at no additional cost to you. Anyway, let's go ahead. I'll just try to mention each book briefly just so you'll get an idea, and if you want to try them out, just check the books out on Scribd. So the first book that I picked is That's Not What Happened by Cody Keplinger. It's a young adult thriller, I guess, or mystery. It is about a shooting that happened in a high school wherein a girl passed away, and there's this belief that she died professing her faith. But the best friend of this girl knows the truth of what like the dead girl really is like, and it's it has been a sensationalized thing. The dead girl has been this poster child for faith and like, you know, professing your faith in the face of death and all of that, but the people behind it knows the real thing. And it also discusses of course what happens to you after a tragedy as big as that, how teens of course cope with the trauma that they've been through, and the value of truth, I guess, and how you see truth. It was a book that gave me a few things to talk about, and I enjoyed reading this story. So the other book, the second book I read is We Met in December. This is a romance, a contemporary romance book. It's I thought it was originally just set in the holidays, but this spans the entire year of our two protagonists' life, and it's about like realizing your chemistry or your potential with someone, but that someone is in a different relationship. So there's a lot of pining in this book, miscommunication and all that. It's your typical rom-com or romance, I guess, very light romance. It felt draggy to me at times, but overall I enjoyed reading their love story. Yeah. The third audiobook I read is a thriller, and it's the first book of, I don't know what you call their series, but I read The Suicide House. It's one of my favorite reads for 2020, and it's a sequel. It's the sequel of this book, and this book is Some Choose Darkness by Charlie Donlea. So Choose Darkness tells the story of those two people I was interested in Suicide House, which were Rory Moore and Lane Phillips. And Rory Moore is a forensic reconstructionist. She is also in the autism spectrum, and Lane Phillips is going to be her partner. And Lane has this study about the criminal mind, basically. And in this book, they study a case about 5 women who went missing in Chicago in 1979. And Angela Mitchell, who was a person involved in that case years back, and her thoughts on what might have happened during those times. Unfortunately, Angela disappeared, and the criminal involved in the case is called the Thief. And since the case wasn't really resolved even 40 years after, he is set to be out in parole. But Rory Moore was called in because of her father's death and as a partner in his law firm. And she is actually an attorney with like rights to practice law. She got involved in that case, and there's some drama and some revelations in this book. I still like Suicide House more, but this is a good like extra thing for me as a fan of this like investigative duo, to see like their backstories and all that. The other books I've read, the 4th and 5th, belong in the Moose Springs series. I enjoyed listening to this. It has, both these books have like strong holiday vibes. The first is The Tourist Attraction, and the other one is Mistletoe and Mr. Right. So, in The Tourist Attraction, our leads are the owner of the tourist trap in Moose Springs, a really small town that people visit during the holidays, and a visiting girl from a different town. So basically, they have this like attraction towards each other. The owner of the tourist trap is friends with this rich girl, and the rich girl's best friend is our heroine in the book. So they planned on vacationing in this place. Unfortunately, the rich girl has like disappointments and work to do, so they got stuck with each other doing the touristy things. So they fell in love and all that. It's really cute. And then Mistletoe and Mr. Right tells the story of the rich girl, this time with another guy from this small town. The rich girl plans on developing the town and try to save it from the people from the town from being bankrupt and all that, but they don't understand what she sees. Of course, they don't want change and innovation in their quaint little town, so the people hate her and they misunderstand her until this guy, he tries to help her win the hearts of the townspeople. And there's also a moose involved in this story. It has like a pretty good role in the story. Overall, it's really cute. Both are cute rom-coms, and they're both also steamy at times and really cute and kilig at sometimes. The next book is The Wife by Alafair Burke, and it's your usual domestic mystery thriller. It's about a famous guy and his wife, a girl with other secrets, and it's there's going to be a domestic problem here, and they both question the truth behind the allegations and all of that. So it wasn't really surprising. There weren't like plot twists that blew my mind away. It's your usual mystery thriller, so it was just like an okay read for me. The next book is More Than Maybe by Erin Han, and Erin Han is like my favorite author discovered in 2020. I really enjoyed this one. It's another music related book. This time it's about a girl who is a music writer. Like, she dreams of writing for the Rolling Stones and covering gigs and interviewing artists and all of that. She also wants to manage this club owned by her very nice, very kind stepfather. And then the other guy, the male lead of this story, is a legend. Basically, he is the son of a former rock star. He has this podcast with his gay brother. And the secret is that he is very talented. He writes good songs and sings them well. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to be a singer. He wants to write songs for people, but he doesn't want like the fame involved with being the artist himself. So these two meet. There's a lot of music involved. It's a really cute story, and Erin Han really describes like music so well. It's very immersive, and I appreciate the feelings brought to me by the story. I really loved More Than Maybe. I can't wait like for her future works. I love this one just like I loved You'd Be Mine. The next audiobook is 10 Blind Dates, and this one is about it's also set in the holidays. So basically, our lead, sorry for forgetting the names of everyone here. I'm really not good with names, but our female lead like begged off celebrating or joining her parents to go to her sister, her pregnant sister, in the holidays. She wanted to like spend the holidays with her grandma and her cousins and her big family, but she plans on going there quite late because she wants to like spend time with her boyfriend. Unfortunately, her boyfriend breaks up with her, and her boyfriend, it's I think because of a conversation that her boyfriend is not really sure if he wants to pursue a relationship with her, knowing that they would be apart in college. So what her family does is, her family is really close, so what they do is like they have this bet on who can match her best in a blind date. So it's like they try to take bets on how long the date would last, if the date would be fun. Everybody gets the chance to link her with another. But aside from that, there's also this like tension she has with the next door neighbor and childhood friend. There are 4 of them, like a cousin, a friend, and basically 2 guy friends, a female cousin and her. They used to be like really close, and they kind of had a little tiny falling out just because they don't live close to each other. So there's all of that. It's really nice. I enjoyed this one. I love the family dynamics, the friendship dynamics, and I was so happy with who she ended up with in the story. So 10 Blind Dates was a really good book to read if you're into like young adult romance. The other book I have read, it's the 9th audiobook, and it's In the Holidays by Christina Lauren, one of my favorite romance contemporary author duos. And this time the story is about another kind of Groundhog Day experience. Basically, this girl has been in love with this family friend for so long already, and she is close with this guy's brother, and then something happens between them during their like yearly retreat, and they both regret it. And then when she wakes up the next day, the story just repeated itself, but she's the only one who knows. So she keeps getting these chances every day that day repeats itself. So it's like the book is like guessing who will she end up with. Will she end up with like her longtime crush, or his brother, who she had like a short one night stand ish with. So I think it was an okay book. She didn't end up with who I wanted her to end up with. So that like made me a little bummed bummed out about the book, but it's a good one. Not the best Christina Lauren book, but still a good book to read. The next book is like one of my disappointing reads of 2020. It's Girls Night Out by another author duo, Liz Fenton and Lisa Steinke. It's about a group of women going on holidays in Mexico. They discovered this like weird guy. He wanted to be friends with them. He wanted to take them out on a tour and all that, but their like all their relationships are like troubled already between each other and as a group, and one of them goes missing and problems are guys. So it's basically back and forth between then and now, what happened in their vacation and what's happening while they're trying to find their friend. And I don't know, I didn't really like how the book was written, the story. I didn't like the plot, I didn't like the twists, I didn't like most of it. So it was really disappointing considering how much I love their other book. But yeah, so those were the 10 audiobooks I read. I also read 2 physical books. The first one is Wing of the Locust by Joel Ching, Donato Jacob. I did a reading vlog on this, so I'll just link it down below so that you'll know all my thoughts. Basically, it's a Filipino young adult book. It has fantasy and it's set in pre-colonial Spanish Philippines. So it's really about and like an immersive experience on Filipino culture. I really liked it, so please do check it out. The other book I read was Finding Chica by Mitch Albom. It's a nonfiction book about a young girl that captured Mitch Albom and his wife Janine's heart. Unfortunately, she encountered a like life-threatening disease, and this book is like a way for Mitch to deal with his demons, the pain of losing someone you treat as your own. Like he treated Chica as his own daughter. It's the story of like falling in love with her, falling in love with the concept of a family and having it taken away from you too soon. So it's a really painful read. It's what you can expect from a guy like Mitch Albom. It's a very heartwarming story, and it would make you really appreciative of your family, of the people around you, the people you care for. So if you're like looking for a book that will make you cry, Finding Chica definitely is the one. I also read 3 ebooks for December. First is Custom Built by Chantal Fernando. It's a new series of hers, but it's still linked to the motorcycle club in her other series. So this one is about an owner of a motorcycle shop who customizes motorcycles and then a girl who would work there as a receptionist, but they're all linked to each other. The references would be in the other books of Chantal Fernando, but if you don't read that, you'll still get the gist of it all. It's still a good book to read. It's very hot and steamy, and it's also very emotional, but it's very hot and steamy. Let me get back to that. So yeah, this is a good romance book by Carina Press, so you can check it out. Another book I read was Tempted by the Tycoon's Proposal by Rachel Stewart, and it's a Harlequin book, if I'm not mistaken. And it's about these 2 workaholics, and there's little cute kid here, and you know how much I love kids in books. She made the story so much cuter. So yeah, it's about 2 workaholics trying to go by life, and then they meet each other and their life changes. So it's like a push and pull and thinking about whether to pursue a relationship or not. And there's this little kid making everything soft and happy. And lastly, the last ebook I read for December 2020 is Puppy Love by Lucy Gilmore. I got this as an ARC. It's been sitting on my shelf for so long. It's about this girl who has a puppy training academy and a guy, I think he is a firefighter who needs an assistant, like what do you call this? A service dog for his diabetes, someone who would check on him and make sure he gets his meds. And he was looking for like a dog. He was imagining this big bulky dog to be assigned to him, but what the heroine, like what the female lead gave him was a cute puppy, like some puppy looking like Munchie basically. And he was so surprised. He wasn't expecting like a cute little princessy dog that he have to like care for. But yeah, so this book revolved around them, the female lead teaching him how to handle this cute little puppy, this puppy taking care of him, and them suddenly falling in love with each other along the way. Manji. So it was a really cute book. Especially if you're someone who loves dogs, you really appreciate Puppy Love by Lucy Gilmore. So those are all the books I read in December. I know this video, it has been quite long already, so thank you for staying with me. If you're curious about the stats, the tiny stats here, I'll talk about them. So this for the star ratings, out of all these 15 books, I gave 5 books 5 stars, 5 books 4 stars, 4 books 3 stars, and 1 book 2 stars. 9 of these books were published in 2020 and 6 of them were published in like 2019 and earlier. So in terms of the genres, we have 1 nonfiction, 4 mystery thriller, 9 romance books, and 1 fantasy book. 11 of these books are for adult audiences and 4 of these books were for young adults. And of course, in terms of like author ethnicity, we have 12 books by white authors, 2 books by Asian authors, and 1 book by a Latinx author. And yeah, those are my reads and my reading stats for December 2020. Please let me know if you have read any one of these books or which one like attracts you, calls on you, pulls you the most. And yeah, let's just talk in the comments. What was your favorite book of December? Please do let me know so that maybe I can pick it up for future reading. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you on the next one. Bye!